and obey them so that our life runs smoothly. Okay, so this is what is about etiquette. Etiquette means a set of rules. There are rules 1, 2, 3, 4 rules are there. On the other hand, if you look at manners, manners is the opposite word for etiquette, as I have mentioned, and also it is the behavior that makes the other person feel comfortable in your presence. That means మనం రూల్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడడం అక్కడ, బట్ మనం ఏం చేస్తే అవతల వాళ్ళకి కంఫర్టబుల్గా ఉంటుంది అనేది మనం ఆలోచించాలి. సో వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ డన్ ఈజ్, వెన్ ఐ కేమ్ హియర్ ఐ సెడ్ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. వాట్ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ బీన్ యువర్ రెస్పాన్స్? ఇట్ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ బీన్ ఓన్లీ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. It shouldn't have been good evening. I also know it is morning, but there is some reason why I said good morning. Okay, so what we are trying to say is never correct the other person. Always try to make the other person feel comfortable. If you are their younger brother or your sister, and if they say, whenever I make a mistake, if you would please correct me, if they give you permission, then you can correct them. Otherwise, you're not supposed to do that. All right? So you have to behave in such a way that will make the other person feel comfortable. Now, one more thing we need to understand is etiquette is set by the society. That means the society tells us how to behave when we interact with people in the society. But manners comes from within. That means you have to decide what is that you want to do to make the other person feel comfortable. All right? So this is the major two differences that we have to keep in mind. All right. I wanted to show you this picture. What is this picture about? Iceberg. Icebergs were made famous by a movie, Titanic. Is there any learning for you from Titanic? What is that? What is the learning from Titanic movie? Be alert. Anything else? Be prepared to die. Anything else? Okay, what I understood is this: what you see is not what you get. You get much more than what you see. Because if you look at the tip of the iceberg and you say that that is the entire iceberg, we are wrong. Right? The tip of the iceberg is only 20% of the whole iceberg. So even you and me, we are all like icebergs. So why suddenly we are talking about icebergs when we are talking about etiquette and manners? The simple reason for that is what people can see in your entire personality is only your behavior. All right? They cannot see deep inside. So if somebody wants to know how big is this iceberg, what they should do? Probably they should jump, they should take a dive, go around it, underneath it, and come the other side. Then they can say this is how iceberg is, right? So what they should do is they should spend some time, energy, and they should know, and then they can say this is how big the iceberg is. But people don't have time today. So what do they do in your personality when they want to evaluate you in an interview especially? What do? They have very limited time. So what they do is they are looking at what is readily available to them in your personality. That is your behavior. All right? What they cannot see immediately, but they will ask some questions about, is your knowledge and your skills. That means they will give you a test, identify your knowledge, and also they ask you to demonstrate something, give a demo, and they find out how much of this particular activity you know. That's what they will do. All right. Now, there is something else which is very difficult for these people to learn about you. What is that? Your beliefs, your cultural background, what you think is right, what you think is wrong. It is it's very difficult for people to understand that. So what they are doing is, instead of spending so much time which is not available to them, they just look at your behavior, which is right now available on the tip of the iceberg, and they come to a conclusion about you. And we have this word, I don't know if you have come across this word anytime, first impressions. Have you come across that? Yeah, first impression is the lasting impression. It may not be the best impression sometime, but it is the lasting impression. Now, how much time somebody will take to come to a conclusion about who you are? How much time will it take for them? About a day? About half an hour? How much time? Let us see. What I'll do is I'll come in front of you. I will enact something. I just want you to observe me carefully and tell me what is that you get from my action. Okay? Here we go. Good evening. Na peru Sharma. Nenu ikkada etiquette gurinchi maatladaniki vachanu. Okay? I'll come again and I will enact something. I want you to observe me carefully. Good evening to all of you. My name is Sharma. I am here to talk about etiquette. Now, is there any difference between these two people? Okay. Now, if you have gone for an interview, you prepared very well, your subject you have buttified, everything is ready. But if you are coming across like the first person to the interviewer, what are your chances of getting the job? Will you get the job? No. What about the second person? There are chances. The person will listen to you at least, what you have to say. They feel that you are a person who is confident, right? So what we are trying to say is that, in fact, the first person may be a first-class graduate, second person may have got only 40% marks in their subject. So knowing the subject is not the only important thing. How do you package yourself? How do you present yourself? Also matters a lot. If you're able to create a positive professional impression in the mind of the other person, half your job is done. The job will come to you automatically. Okay, so what we're trying to say is, first impression, how much time did it take for you to come to a conclusion about the first person and the second person? How much time did it take? 5 seconds? Okay, research. Hello, have you shook hands with people anytime? Okay, where did you learn how to shake hands? Last year impact. Okay. We have observed other people doing it and we picked it up from them. Now, where do you think those people learn from? They learned it from somebody else. If they have learned from somebody who doesn't know how to shake hands, what happens to our handshake? We don't know. It could be right, it could be wrong. We are not sure. The problem with our visual communication is, if you are confident about something, it is reflected in your body language. If you're not confident about something, even that is reflected in your body language or the visual communication. And if you're not sure about something, even that is reflected in your visual communication. So if you're confident about something, what do? You go forward, you put your hand out and shake hands with them. If you're not confident at all with them, what do? Instead of going forward, you take 2 steps backwards when somebody comes to shake hands with you. And if you're not sure about something, what will you do? Probably you'll put your hand out, then you say namaste, then you do like this, all kinds of things will do. So it is giving a clue about you to the other person. You know, you don't know, or you're not sure about something. Okay, so what we'll do is, can I ask some volunteer to come forward and help me to show how hard? Okay. Now, how many rules are there for shaking hands? Most of the time I observe, because we don't have time, I'm not able to come down and try to shake hands with you. But when I come down and I try to shake hands with many people, what they do is happily they are sitting and shaking hands like this. Now, what is the rule? Do you know? What is the first rule of shaking hands? We must always stand up and shake hands. If you remember your college days, what happens? You are eating your lunch in the canteen. Your friend comes from the other class and they want to shake hands with you, and they see that you are eating with your fingers. So what do? They want to touch you somewhere or other. And what do you do to help them? You put your hand out like this, so they come and touch it. You are happy, they are happy that it is considered handshake. Now that is not required. Okay, that if you see that the other person is not able to offer the hand, it is perfectly all right not to shake hands, but just to say hi, how do you do, how are you, good morning, that's fine. Okay, so like this, some rules are there, because shaking hands is purely etiquette. And we learned etiquette is a set of rules to be obeyed. Okay, how many rules are there, how many steps are there for shaking hands with others? How many are there? Any guess? 3. Stand up, shake hands, sit down. Is that so? No. There are total 12 rules. Every time you follow the 12 rules of offering a professional handshake, your handshake is considered as professional. Otherwise, we have to rate it as Chalta hai handshake. Chalta hai handshake is okay with your friends, but not in a professional situation. Okay. We are going to spend some time looking at this handshake reason. The simple thing for that is, the reason is, that is the first thing we do with people when we meet them. So our first impression in the mind of the other person is based on how we shake hands with them. All right, your name please? Sindhu. We must always stand up. In business, our business situation, our interview is also a business situation. There is no gender. That means men, women, everybody is equal. So everybody has to stand up and shake hands with others. Okay? In the very old days, in the Victorian era, the women were allowed to sit down and offer their hand, where the man is going to kiss the hand. That's how they used to greet one another. But today, in business, everybody is equal. So how do we do that? Let us see. Now, the first thing is, you must stand up, rule number 1. Rule number 2 is, you must stand facing the person completely. If we see sometimes the news channels, what happens? 2 people from 2 different countries, ministers, they're shaking hands. How do they stand? ఎప్పుడైనా చూసారా వాళ్ళని? ఒకళ్ళు పక్కన ఒకళ్ళు నిల్చుంటారు ఎదురుగానే. Are they looking at each other? No. They are looking at the cameras. Audience are cameras. And they're shaking hands. Now what are they doing? They please give a big smile. All teeth must be visible. You know, that's what they're doing. Actually, it is a political handshake. How not to shake hands in a professional situation is what we learn from there. A professional handshake, you must stand facing the person completely. That means your shoulders, other person's shoulders must face each other. Rule number 3, we must stand straight. Sindhija is standing straight. For some reason, I am standing with my shoulders drooping. Now, is it a negative or a positive opinion I'm creating in her mind? Negative. She thinks I don't know how to shake hands. I don't want to shake hands. I'm tired. All of them are negative. If I go like this to shake hands with her, let us see what she'll do. Hello, Sindhija, how are you? What do you think she'll do? She'll run away from there. Right? So, what we are saying is, my purpose of meeting her and shaking hands is to create a positive professional impression in her mind, to tell her that I'm a professional. So you can do business with me. That's what I'm trying to communicate to her. So what we need to do, we must stand straight. How do we stand straight? Let us see. Whenever you stand, your legs must be apart, your back erect, your chin up, your hands at the side. This is the right way to stand in front of the other person. Now there should be some gap between your feet. How much gap should be there? Any guess? 1 feet, half feet, 6 inches. Okay, it's not about inches or feet. It is, if I put an imaginary line, your shoulders and your feet must be in the same line. And also in the front, they should be in the same line. So you must face the person, and this is how you stand. Rule number 4, there must be some gap between 2 people. How much gap should be there? Is this much okay? Is this okay? No. If you go too close, you'll get one slap if it is a girl. Okay, so be careful about it. So how much gap should be there between 2 people? Okay, without extending your arm too far or keeping it too close to your body, if you are able to extend it approximately to your elbow, and the other person also is able to extend it approximately to their elbow, then this is the right gap. So 2 elbow lengths gap should be there between 2 people. So you can see the face of the person clearly, you can hear what they are saying, and also there is place for movement of your arms. Rule number 5. Some people believe you want to leave a lasting impression on them. So what do? They go and hold it as hard as possible and crush the other person's hand. No. Next time what happens, the person never forgets. They meet you, namaste, thank you. They don't want to shake hands with you. And some other people, especially they think that if you are shaking hands, a boy and a girl, or a man and a woman, they believe you have to be very polite. So they hold the two fingers like this. That is considered handshake, which is totally wrong. You should not hold somebody's hand too lightly or too tightly. You have to have a firm grip on the other person's hand. So how do we get the grip? Let us see. Sindhuji, just do what I'm doing. The four fingers together, thumb up, cross the thumb with the other person's thumb, and wrap these four fingers together, and then press the thumb down. Now, is it very tight? Is it very light? No. It is just firm. If it's too light, what will happen? Fall down on its own. If it is too tight, she'll start jumping up and down. So we need to know that we should get a firm grip on the other person's hand. What is the next rule? What we call shaking is actually called pumping. Okay? Have you seen a manual borewell pump? How do they pump it? Yeah, somebody is showing. It doesn't mean you have to hold the shoulder and pump like this. Not so desperate. It is basically the movement is from your elbow to the other person's elbow. So it goes up, it goes down. So that is the right way. It is called a pump. Now next question is, how many pumps should we pump in a professional situation? In a professional situation, always the first time when we meet them, it is 3 pumps. 3 times it should go up, it should go down. And next time onwards, whenever you meet that person, irrespective of how many times we met them, it is 2 pumps. And with your colleagues, only 1 pump. So first time, 3 times. Second time onwards, it is 2 times. With your colleagues, only 1 pump. So we need to know that. All right? Now, why is it with colleague only 1 pump, but with the first time in an official situation, 3 pumps? The simple rule for that is, how much time does it take for somebody to come to a conclusion about you? 7-second time. So, by the time I go and connect, and I pump, 1, 2, 3, and then disconnect, it is 7 seconds time. So what I'm doing is I'm giving opportunity to Sindhuja to find out what kind of a person I am. And she is giving me an opportunity to evaluate her and see what kind of a personality she has. Alright? So that's why. But your colleagues, you already know them. So you need not evaluate them every time. So that is the rule behind that. Next one. When do we look when we shake hands? Before that, how high the hand should go, how low the hand should go. Because if it is 3 pumps, some people, what did they do? The first pump is very vigorous. Second pump, third pump, they falling down. Now this is not going to create any professional impact in the mind of the other person. So what should we do? On the other hand, there are some other people. When they shake hands, if you add a little music, it will be like this. It's like an electrical shock they are giving you. It doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. It should not be like that. So how high it should go, how low it should go. Whoever is the shorter of both the people who are shaking hands, up to the shorter person's chest, it has to go up, it has to go down to the waist. So from chest to the hand, it go to the waist. So that is the right gap. It has to travel every time. So if it is 3 pumps, all 3 times it goes up, it goes down. Okay. What is the next rule? When do we look when we shake hands? Nice sandals she is wearing. Where did she buy these sandals? Do we look at the shoes? No, we have to look at the face of the person and we have to make eye contact. But in our culture, what happens? We have to look at somebody who is very highly qualified, a senior person or a lady and a man. Then what happens? We feel very awkward looking into the other person's eyes and talking to them. So what do? Hello madam. And then we are looking, my name is Sharma madam. So what am I trying to convey to her? I'm feeling very uncomfortable. That's what I'm conveying to her. So if you have any problem like this, there's a simple rule to remember. That is, look between the eyes. not on the forehead, but between the eyes. When you look between the eyes, you feel comfortable, the other person feels comfortable. Okay, so many rules we learn. What are the rules? Never shake hands across something. No table should be there. So what is the reason for that? When I am standing in front of Sindhija, she can identify, she can see right from head to the shoes, and I can see her also. So what we are trying to convey to each other is, I have nothing to hide from you. I want to have an open, honest business relationship with you. That's what we are trying to convey to each other. Okay, now next rule. Even though in the beginning I said that there is no gender between, in business situation, as far as the handshake is concerned, it is the lady's right to decide whether she would like to offer a hand to a man or not. Otherwise what happens? The man goes and puts the hand out. The lady probably says, Namaste. And he says, okay, let me also say Namaste, and he puts both the hands. By the time the lady will put the hand out. Now, it's going on like this. We don't know who is going to stop doing what. So, best thing is, if you are the lady, you must send the signal to the man that you are willing to shake hands, you are not willing to shake hands. If you are not willing to shake hands, keep your hands at the side. Hello, how do you do? That means you are not interested in shaking hands with the man. Alright? Okay. The last rule is, host is the one who has to initiate everything. That means, who is from there? Whose office is it? That person has to initiate everything. Okay? That person will put the hand out first, and the other person will shake hands with them. So this is what the 12 rules of offering a professional handshake. Now I want two girls to come and shake hands with Sindhija quickly. Can I have two people coming forward? Please come quickly. We don't have time. Okay, that's it. I want all of you to observe, see how many of the 12 rules they are following. Alright? Okay. Now who is the host here? Who is the host? She is the host because she is there before you. Alright? So she is the one who will put the hand out first, and then you're going to shake hands. Go ahead, quickly. Okay, what do you think about this handshake? Would you like to go back, both of you, and come again? Try it out. How high the hand should go, how low the hand should go? Should go up to the chest, go down to the waist. Okay, do that. Go backwards. Again. Yes. Okay, we'll just try it out. Please go closer. Don't bend forward. Okay. Little closer you have to go. You're too far. She's not going to bite you. Go closer. Okay, go backwards and come. Don't look at me. You are the only two people in the room. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, it has to go up, it has to go down. It has to take how many seconds? About 6 seconds time. That means every pump should take about 2 seconds time. Okay, can we give them a big hand, all three of them? Thank you. Please have a seat. Thank you. Now the thing is, when you observe them doing it, it looks very funny. What kind of a handshake they are doing? But what we need to remember is that because all of us are doing something wrong, it doesn't become right. There is a right way of doing, there is a wrong way of doing. So this is the right way of doing. Of course, we need some practice, because first time we are doing it in front of public, a little awkward we are feeling. I'm sure that next 1 week when you are shaking hands, what is rule number 8 now? I forgot, that's what you may think. But that is fine. Don't think that I go for a very important interview, I will try to practice this. No, you have to practice them right from the word go, from today itself, so that it becomes a part and parcel of your behavior. Okay, what I will do is, I will display the 12 rules of shaking hands. If you want to note them down, you can note them down. These are the first 6. There, come. Okay, are we through with that? If you are not through, then you have to copy it from somebody quickly, because we don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to the next 6. These are the next 6. What do we say to people? Hello, hi. Okay. Did anybody wish you or greet you? Hello, how do you do? Hello, how are you? Did they say that? Did they say that to you? Yes. So what is your response to them? How do you do? Many of us, we would think, because both of them sound like questions, we say, how are you, or how do you do? We say, I'm fine, thank you. How are you, or how about you? That's what we say. But what we need to understand is, one of them is a greeting and one of them is a question. So which is greeting, which is question? Simple rule to remember is, how do you do is a greeting. And greeting must be reciprocated back with greeting. So if somebody says, how do you do? Answer is, how do you do? Because good morning, when somebody says, we don't say, I'm fine, thank you, good morning. We just say, good morning. So what we need to understand, how do you do must be always replied back with, how do you do? On the other hand, how are you is it's a question. So we must answer the question. That means, I'm fine, thank you for your concern. And to reciprocate them, we say, how about you, or how are you? So this is what we need to remember. Next thing is, there are 10 greetings altogether. Can we write them down quickly? There are 10 greetings. 5 of them are called time-specific greetings. Time-specific greetings. And 2 of them are departure greetings. That means when you're leaving them, we should use those greetings. 5 time-specific greetings, 5 non-time-specific greetings. 3 of the meeting greetings are from the time-specific greetings, and 2 are time-specific departure greetings. And when we come to the non-time-specific greetings, 2 are meeting greetings and 3 are departure greetings. 2 are meeting greetings, 3 are departure greetings. That means whenever we are leaving them, we use any of those 3. So let's quickly look at them. So what are the time-specific greetings? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Okay, these are the 3 meeting greetings. That means whenever you meet somebody, we have to use any one of them, depending on the time. And many of us Indians, we have this wrong idea that for the first time when we meet people, any time of the day, you can use good morning. Totally wrong. What is the reason for that? Because it is a time-specific greeting. That means only from a specific time to another specific time, we can use that greeting. Alright? So good morning can be used only up to 12 noon. After that, we must use good afternoon. But there is an etiquette rule which says 30 minutes plus or 30 minutes minus, we could use either greeting. That means good morning you can use, good afternoon you can use, between 11:30 to 12:30. At 11:30 somebody can come and say good afternoon to you, but what is our usual response? We look at the watch, look at the fellow's face. What are we trying to convey to them? You fool, you don't know how to greet by the time of the day. But whether they know the rules or not, we are the ones who don't know the rules. That's what we are establishing there. Alright? Okay. So 12 noon, we can use good morning, and after that we have to use good afternoon. Now good afternoon up to what time can we use? Any guess? 4, 5. If you have a Cambridge dictionary or Oxford dictionary, it says 12 noon up to 6 p.m. you can use good afternoon. Alright? But it is practiced only in the UK. Rest of the world, 3:30 is the right time to cut off saying good afternoon and start saying can use good afternoon, and even at 3:30 you can say good evening. Alright? Now the question is about good evening. Up to what time can we greet people good evening when we meet them? Till what time? Okay, let us see. At 8 o'clock we meet at a party. What do you greet me? 9 o'clock in the night? 10 in the night? 11 in the night? You sure? That is where we have the number of voices coming down. Okay, so, okay, what about 1 o'clock in the morning? Good morning, but it could be still good evening. 3 o'clock in the morning? It is good morning, but still it could be good evening. 4 o'clock in the morning? It is good morning, but still it could be good evening. 5 o'clock in the morning? Only good morning. So what is the logic behind this? Till 4 o'clock in the morning, why should we say good evening instead of good morning? Let's see a particular rule which says, even though at 12 midnight the day changes, the date changes, the new day's morning starts, if you and the person whom you are greeting have not yet gone to sleep, you must greet them good evening. Alright? That means if two people haven't slept but they were getting ready, packing something, and they met at the airport in the morning 2 o'clock, what do they need to greet each other? But all these small things, when we do correctly, they can become a big positive in creating your first impression in the mind of the other person. Otherwise they can become a big negative. Alright? Okay. So these are the 3 greetings which we can meet. When we meet people, we use them. And there are 2 departure greetings which are time specific. One is good night. Before that there is something else. Good day. Good day and good night. Good day can be used up to 3:30 p.m. Again plus or minus 30, that means up to 4 p.m. you can use good day. And after that, if you are leaving them, you can say good night. Even though it is early evening, you should wish them good night. So these are the 5 time specific greetings. 3 are meeting greetings, 2 are departure greetings. What are the non-time specific 2 meeting greetings? Hello and hi. Hello is formal, hi is informal. Goodbye. But the problem is, we have this idea, if somebody says goodbye, we are not going to see them again in our lifetime. Right? So somebody will look at you like this, why are you saying goodbye? You don't want to meet me again? You know, that's the kind of look they will give us. But what happened is, this is happening in very old days where the Britishers were ruling us. If they had to, go back to England for some work, first of all they have to reach a shore in India, and then they have to take a ship which is not so fast like today, and they have to go through the storms and all. They have to reach their hometown, they have to finish their work, and again catch another ship and come back. So the chances of them alive and being ourselves alive was less. So somebody said goodbye, maybe I may not see you in my lifetime. That was how it was. But today, in 24 hours, you can go around the globe and come back to the same place. So there's nothing wrong with it. By the way, when somebody says goodbye, the full form of goodbye is God be with you till we meet again. That is the full form of goodbye. Is there anything wrong with that greeting? No. So, hello, goodbye, hi and bye. There is one more greeting which is non-time specific departure greeting. What is that? That is not see you. See you is that you are telling the person, okay, I'll see you later. So that's not a greeting. Have a nice day. Have a nice day is the 5th greeting, which is departure greeting. Non-time specific. Even in the night, if you are leaving somebody, you can say, have a nice day. It's not actually about day. It's about till you reach home. That's what basically it's about. So have a nice day. So these are the 10 greetings which we can use when we are greeting somebody. Have you come across this word anytime? Have you come across this word? What is the closest word you know? Honor. What is the meaning of honor? Respect. So how to show respect to people when we address people? How to show respect to them when we address them? That is called honorifics. Okay, so what is the first one? Let us look at it. First one is master. For whom should we use master? Okay, it is used only for boys. Do you know up to what age we can use master? We can use up to 8 years of age. But many of us think it is 12, 15, 16 years also you can use master. The simple reason for that is, in the school when you were studying, if you have won some competition when you are 14 years or 16 years, probably the school has given you a certificate saying master and your name, which is wrong. So you assume that you can address somebody master till say 16 or 18 or something like that. Okay, when does this boy become Mr.? When does he become Mr.? When he becomes 18 years old. So the question is, what do we address a boy between 8 and 18? There is no honorific for a boy between 8 and 18. You just need to write the name of the boy. That's it. Alright? Or you have to call them by their name. That's it. Okay, up to what age can you address somebody Mr.? Till what age? 40, 60, 80? Okay, what we need to remember is, once a person becomes a Mr., he is always a Mr., irrespective of age. And if he dies, we add late Mr. That means this man is above 18 years, but he is living no more. Okay, next one. MISS, Miss. For whom should we use that? For a lady who is not married. Up to what age? Unlike the men, where the age is taken into consideration, for women it is marriage. That means if she is not married, you can address her Miss all her life. So we have Miss Lata Mangeshkar, who is about 80 years old. Okay, so you can use Miss for her. Alright, when does this Miss become MRS? After marriage. We write MRS, we pronounce it Mrs., but the full form of Mrs. is mistress. And mistress has two meanings in the dictionary. So which mistress is this? To know the differentiation, a lady who is married to a man, we write MRS, we pronounce it Mrs., but the full form is actually mistress. Okay, one more is there, which is MS. This is, many people think, the short form for MISS. It is pronounced Ms. It is not Miss. It is Ms. And for whom should we use Ms? There are two conditions for somebody to be addressed as Ms. First one, she must be of marriable age. Even though no specific age is there, like in India we have 18 years I think minimum for the girl. So she is of marriable age, but we don't know whether she is married or not. And we cannot go back to her and ask her, are you married? You know, that is bad manners. So we have to use Ms. for her. Alright? Okay. Now one more very important thing we need to remember about the ladies is, it is the lady's right to be addressed as she would like to be. That means she is married but still she uses her maiden surname. She is married to a man, divorced, married to another man, still she can use her first husband's surname. So there are so many combinations, we don't have times for that. So what we are trying to say is that it is the lady's right to decide how she would like to be addressed. So if you have any doubt, best thing is to ask her, how do I address you? And in business, always the best way to address a lady is Ms. only. So these are the honorifics. But also we have sir and ma'am. You know, if you go to the municipal office and say, Mr. Yadgiri, you will get mad. He'll say, how dare you call me by my name? Call me sir. He will be very happy if you call him sir. So what happens is we think sir means it's something great, Mr. is not so great. But the thing is, sir and ma'am we are not supposed to use for everybody. In the old days, a man used to go into the war and win the victory for the country. The Queen of England used to give an award called the knighthood. And the person who has received the knighthood is to be addressed as sir. And a lady who has done a lot of social work, that lady is to be addressed as Dame of the British Empire. And that lady is called or named, addressed as Madam. When we write, Ma'am, when you speak to her directly, face to face. So these are the few things that we need to know. Okay, all right. Then we also have many other things, but we don't have really time. The time that is given to me is through. You have any questions quickly? We'll take 2 minutes for that, and that's where we'll stop. Any questions, please? Yes. Company? Usually we use for the company M/S, Messrs. Okay? Messrs is basically in the old days when brothers of the same family are working together, doing business together, they used to write Messrs and the family name. That means the brothers of that particular family are doing business together. That's how it started. But today the problem is no two brothers do business together. A lot of people who are not brothers do business together. So for every organization, institution, establishment, we started using Messrs. That's it. Pardon? How do you do? What does it mean? It is a greeting. Good morning. What it means? It's a greeting. Just to say, I recognize that you are there. So suppose somebody says, Baunara antaru. చూడలేదు కనబట్టలేదు నేను ఎట్లున్నాను అన్నది ఎవరైనా చెప్పారా మీకు అట్లా? సో ఇట్ ఈస్ జస్ట్ ఎ గ్రీటింగ్. బాగుండకపోయినా కూడా మనం బాగున్నామనే అంటాం, తర్వాత నెమ్మదిగా చెప్తాం ఏదో ఒకటి. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ జస్ట్ లైక్ బాగున్నారా, హౌ డు యూ డూ. ఆల్ రైట్, ఓకే. ఎనీ అదర్ క్వశ్చన్? దట్స్ ఇట్, లాస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్. Man is man, person is, it could be man, it could be woman. That's the only difference. Okay. Tata. Okay. Tata and bye-bye, these are all casual words. Actually, there is no greeting called Tata. All right? This is in the saying, over a period of time, is a colloquial way of to greet people when you're leaving them. Goodbye is the only way, the appropriate time-specific greeting. And if it is informal, it is bye. That's it. There's no Tata. In India we write Tata, bye-bye and all those things. It's not appropriate. Okay. I think that's where we have... Pardon? Yeah. Everybody is called by the first name. Yeah. Simple rule to remember is, till they give you permission, it is better to address them formally. If they say, no, don't call me Mr. Sharma, please call me Rami. If I give you that permission, then you can call me Rami. But otherwise, you should always address, the honorifics must be used with the last name of the person. Okay? We didn't go into that because we don't have time. You can call sir for people who are from Indian background. But if you go to an American and say sir, he says, forget about, I never received that award like that. I didn't even see the Queen of England. Okay, so don't call me sir, he will say. Alright? So it depends on the background of the person. Some people want you to call them sir. Okay, that's it. We have that much time for it. So thank you. However, we have a few CDs. If you are interested, DVDs are there, Telugu DVDs. You can pick it up from outside, right? It is costing 300 rupees, but we will be giving it at 100 rupees if you are interested. Thank you. Time there. So can you just take this? We'll take it. Your phone number and the